Hey there everybody, I'm Joe the Disney Guy, and with St. Patrick's Day right around the corner, this seems like the perfect time to look at our second Disney Channel movie review. And in the spirit of the holiday, what better movie to look at than The Luck of the Irish? So the movie starts with this weird opening. I mean, this is sort of creepy. It's just faces and eyes talking about how we all come from different places. No one's even smiling, it's just really disconcerting. I'm going to open all my reviews like this now and see how you all like it. After that weirdness, we finally meet our main character, Kyle Johnson, who happens to be the luckiest high schooler alive, constantly finding money, acing tests just by guessing, and even making circus shots to help him be the star of the school's basketball team. Yeah, there's basketball in this movie, so I'm going to consider this my March Madness theme review as well. Yeah, two birds with one stone. The one thing Kyle doesn't have, though, is any idea about his heritage, which only starts to become a problem when resident female genius/overachiever Bonnie starts pressuring him to participate in Heritage Day at the school. So a basketball player who's the most popular kid in school, his interracial best friend, and the Hispanic all-A student/possible love interest. Sounds like a winning combination to me, but if only this movie had singing in it. The problem for Kyle is that every time he tries to ask his parents about their heritage, he gets very strange, question-dodging responses.
Where's our family from, Dad? We're from right here, son. No, I mean, where did we come from? You know, what's our heritage? We moved here from Cleveland.
We're Americans, Kyle. That's all the heritage we need.
I think your great-grandfather moved there from Buffalo.
Why are you so interested in your family all of a sudden? Just because some people are obsessed with where their ancestors came from doesn't mean you have to be too.
This causes Kyle to do some snooping, where he finds out that his dad mysteriously changed his last name, and that his lucky coin is the same symbol as one found on a poster for a local Irish festival. Kyle and his friend Russell go to the festival, where they meet a strange old man obsessed with making his own shoes, and watch the Saint of the Step, Seamus McTiernan, perform a show. While watching McTiernan step dance, Kyle begins to dance himself, before being knocked to the ground by the world's largest and creepiest leprechaun.
Top of the morning to you.
The next day, things start getting weird for Kyle, as his mom all of a sudden starts speaking in an Irish accent and reveals to Kyle that they are in fact Irish. Kyle then embarks on what is his unluckiest day ever, culminating with a horrible performance in the basketball court in the state semifinals. The next day, Kyle's mom continues to act even more oddly Irish. The most judgmental student body in history shuns Kyle for his awful performance in a game that they won anyway, and Kyle begins to realize that he's getting shorter. In science class, Kyle discovers that his solid gold lucky coin has been switched with an iron one, and in his panic runs home to tell his parents that it's been stolen. Of course, upon arriving home, Kyle finds that his mother is 5 inches tall. Common problem. Happens to me all the time. Kyle's mother reveals that she's a leprechaun and that Kyle's gold coin actually holds all of the luck of the clan O'Reilly, which is what helps them maintain a human form. When Kyle tells them that his coin has been stolen, they assume that the strange old man that he met at the festival took it, who actually is Kyle's estranged grandfather and owner of the Emerald Isle potato chip factory.
If my granddad lives right in... granddad. Why don't I ever get to see him? Because I'm not a leprechaun. And they don't believe in mixed marriages. That's why we had to leave Cleveland. We even changed our name so Kate's family couldn't find us.
Alright, I have a couple things here. One, I feel like we're getting some major unanswered questions here about how some guy from Cleveland ended up meeting and then marrying a leprechaun. And two, I understand changing your name to hide from someone, unless your name is Robert Smith. I mean, that's like one of the most common combinations of names you can possibly have. And that wasn't untraceable enough for you? Kyle sneaks into the factory with a student tour group that Bonnie is with, and through a wild chase scene, the two finally end up meeting with Kyle's grandfather, Riley O'Reilly. Kyle's grandfather denies stealing the coin and laments the loss of his family's luck.
It's not Kyle's luck. It's the luck of the clan O'Reilly. It's all that's held us together for 1,000 years and more. 1,000 years of invasion and oppression and being forced from the land. 1,000 years of stony fields and famine, saying goodbye forever as you get on a boat for a distant shore.
I don't get it. If you had such good luck, then wouldn't none of this bad stuff have happened in the first place? Riley then tells Kyle that dancer Seamus McTiernan is a fair derrig, or an evil leprechaun, and they go after him as the one who stole their luck. I'm sorry, but I gotta interject here again. Literally everything that's happened so far in this movie could have easily been avoidable if Kyle's parents weren't acting like such lunatics and just told him in the first place that he was Irish or a leprechaun or something. Kyle never would have gone to that festival looking for answers. If they told him how important the coin was, he certainly would have been careless enough to let it get stolen. The family would have still had their luck, Kyle would have had his heritage, and everybody would have been happy. Instead, you act like you're covering up some CIA conspiracy when it comes to your heritage, and now your wife is 5 inches tall. You happy now? Kyle, his friends, and his family go after Seamus, but without any of his luck to help them, their car gets a flat and they lose the Fair Derrick. A flash rainstorm depresses the group even further, but Bonnie makes a speech to raise their spirits.
I mean, when the Irish came to America, things were tough, and they had to work at jobs other people wouldn't take, and they didn't get paid what they deserved.
Well, at least they got paid.
The important thing is they didn't give up. They kept trying till things got better, and that's what makes them special. Not where they are now, but the spirit that kept them going on the way there.
Okay, I'm confused now. Was it determination or was it luck that got the Irish through the hard times? Make up your mind, movie! When the rain suddenly stops, Riley begins chasing after a rainbow that appears because there's a pot of gold at the end of every rainbow, and sure enough, they find Seamus's truck and break into his safe to get their luck back.
How'd you do that? It's a leprechaun thing.
Now, why would Seamus keep leprechaun gold in a safe that a leprechaun could clearly break into? Seamus catches them in the act, however, and captures Riley.
I've got him by the beard, boyo, and no leprechaun can get away from that.
I didn't even know that was a leprechaun thing. Kyle bets Seamus that if he can beat Seamus in sports, the Fair Derrick has to let Riley go and give them their luck back. Seamus accepts, and they are transported to Ireland to compete in a series of traditional Irish sports. Kyle ties Seamus at the end of the games, but since a tie isn't beating him, Seamus declares himself the winner of the bet. Kyle makes one last bet with Seamus, that if he can beat Seamus at basketball without luck, Seamus would give everything back and be banished to the land of Kyle's father. But if Kyle loses, he'd be Seamus' slave forever. They are then transported to overtime of Kyle's championship game, which Seamus and his goons disguise as the other team. Seamus takes the early lead on Kyle before Riley gives Russell a fake lucky coin to give him confidence. Kyle then confronts his grandfather about giving Russell a fake coin.
Sure, it is fake. But I wouldn't be telling him that if I were you. It's confidence the boy be wanting, not some lucky coin. Oh, he's got all the luck he needs, right in here.
Weren't you the same guy who not that long ago was lamenting the fact that your family was ruined because they lost their lucky coin? Encouraged by the luck inside of him, Kyle leads a comeback and ends up beating a superpowered Seamus, getting their luck back and sending Seamus to the land of Kyle's father, which is Cleveland, not Ireland as Seamus thought. So the luck is back, Kyle performs a step dance at Heritage Day, the crowd sings "This Land Is Your Land," and everybody lives happily ever after. So that's the luck of the Irish. It's
Racist alert! Racist alert! Racist alert!
Yeah, I was getting to that. Realistically, this movie is harmless, but seeing as they do basically claim that every Irish person is a leprechaun, and they perpetuate every single Irish stereotype imaginable from the thick accents to working at potato factories, I do see how it's possible for this movie to be a little offensive to Irish people. That being said, even with some of its odd plot points, I've always enjoyed The Luck of the Irish. The film is pretty fast-paced and enjoyable enough, and I always find myself going back to it at least once a year. And for a movie made 13 years ago, I think it still holds up pretty well, so if you're in the St. Patrick's Day spirit and feel like a Disney Channel movie, give Luck of the Irish a watch and enjoy yourself. Well guys, that about wraps it up for me this week. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of those who are celebrating, and let me know what you think of Luck of the Irish. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, check out last week's video and next week's video. And I'll see you all next week.